Well, good morning. My name's Rebecca, and today's practice we'll be doing what I call feel-good yoga, which just simply means it's fairly simple postures, but it helps me get back inside my body as if uh, I need to do that. Sometimes it's really difficult to get out of my head and get back down into the rest of my body. Maybe you can relate. So we'll start today laying down on our backs. So whether you're on a yoga mat, whether you're on your bed, whether you're somewhere comfy that you can lay down, go ahead and lay down. And then as you come down to rest on your back, just start with your knees bent and your feet resting on the floor. You can let your arms rest wherever they're comfortable and just start to sway your knees from side to side. So kind of check in with your hips, your spine. Maybe you can feel sensation up into your shoulders as you do this. Just a little swaying side to side. All right, and then as you let your legs come to stillness, just let your knees rest right over top of your ankles. If it's comfortable for your hips, you might even let your knees drop in and touch each other. And we'll just start to move the arms a little bit. So the next time that you breathe in, just sweep your arms up alongside your head. See how far you can reach. Maybe the hands touch the floor, maybe they stop a little bit above the floor. And then as you exhale, slowly take the arms back down alongside your torso. We'll do this a couple of times. Breathing in. And breathing out. You can let your breath have a sound. Two more. And one more. All right, now go ahead and roll over onto your left side. And as you roll to rest on your left side, you might rest your head on your left arm or maybe the floor. We'll take the right hand to the right shoulder and then just start to rotate through the shoulder joint. So your elbow draws a big circle in space. A couple of times in one direction. Notice the sensations, perhaps sounds. All right, change directions. Same arm. All right, now go ahead and stack your arms and just reach your fingertips in the direction that you're looking. So palms touch, take a breath in. As you exhale, sweep your right arm up and over towards the floor behind you. We'll do that a few times. Inhale the arms back together, fill the body up with breath. And exhale as you twist. A couple more times. All right, one more. All right, now as you pause here in the twist with your arms reaching away from each other, sway your head side to side. Just check in with the neck as well as find the place where your head wants to rest. So it might be more restful for some to turn the head left, for some to the right, for some somewhere in the middle. And then just start to let your body melt into the floor. Release any unnecessary effort as you simply allow yourself to breathe. All right, take one more breath. All right, as you guide your knees back to center and you roll onto your back, now we'll take both knees in toward the chest, give them a gentle squeeze, and rock a little side to side, massage your back, your hips. We'll be doing that same twist on the other side. You may not be able to see me as well, but it'll be the same thing we did on the first side. So now roll to your right side. And as with the first side, you might lay on your lower arm or you might take your head to the floor. We'll take the left hand to the left shoulder and then start to rotate. Couple of big circles. Notice how your left shoulder feels today. All right, change directions. All right, now stack your arms in the direction that you're looking, so your fingertips are reaching over to the other side. Palms are touching. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, sweep your left arm up and over toward the floor behind you. We'll do this a few times with the breath. Inhale, arms back together. Fill the body up. Exhale and twist. Couple more times. All right, one more time. And now just let yourself pause in the twist with your arms reaching away from each other. Start to sway the head side to side. Again, checking in with the neck, see what the most comfortable spot will be for your head and neck to rest within the twist. And just take a few breaths, letting yourself melt into the shape. Let go of unnecessary effort. Feel the movement of your belly and your chest as you breathe. All right, after your next breath, slowly guide the legs back to center so that you roll onto your back. And as we did before, take your knees back into your chest, give them a squeeze, rock side to side, massage your back. All right, so we're going to change position and come up to seated. So the way I typically like to do it in an easy way is roll to one side and then just push up. And so when you come into a seated position, it's important to be relatively comfortable, as well as feel like you're not falling backwards in space. So some of us, when we come to a seat, our backs look a bit like this. And if that's the case for you, no shame, just sit on a cushion. When you sit on a cushion, you're elevating your hips a little bit so that your knees drop down a little bit more and you come back into more neutral in your spine, a more comfortable, easy to move sort of position. So sit on a cushion, sit on a stool. Maybe you have a big cushion you want to use. But as you come into your seat, you might be cross-legged. You might keep your legs straight if you don't like crossing your legs. But come into a relatively comfortable seat. And we'll just start to turn the head side to side. So we did a little bit of this laying down, but it always feels different when your spine is in a different orientation and space relative to the floor. So notice what you feel in your neck as you turn your head. All right, now drop your chin down toward your chest. It might touch, it might not, but let the head be heavy as it comes forward. All right, slowly lift your head and then take your chin up toward the ceiling. Give a little stretch to the front of your neck. And then again, drop your chin down to the extent that is comfortable and possible for you. Heavy head. And slowly take the chin up. All right, bring your head back to center and then we'll shrug the shoulders up, back, and down a couple times. Up, back, and down. And then once more up, back, and down. All right, now let your right hand come down to the floor. Sweep your left arm up and over. Now as you reach with this left arm, squeeze and release the fingers a few times. Let them spread apart, scrunch up, rotate through your wrist a few times each way. Really good to do if you're going to spend some time at your computer today. Or even if you're not, just checking in with your hands. How often do you do that? All right, take a big breath in, rise up. Exhale, left hand down, same thing. Right arm up and over. As you reach with that right hand, squeeze and release the fingers a few times, as well as rotate through your wrist a few times each way. Just checking in. All right, big breath in, rise up. Exhale, release your hand. All right, now this next one, I'm going to turn so you can see me better, but you don't necessarily have to turn. But take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers there. Now for some of us, the elbows are going to stay bent. For others, it might be possible to straighten the arms. But focus less on straightening the arms and more on the feeling of opening up across your chest. So you want to start to move your shoulder blades toward each other, toward the spine. So open up across the chest. Again, elbows bent or straight arms, depending on what's possible. But focus on this feeling of opening up here. And then just take a few deep breaths. How does it feel to open across the chest? Can you feel sensation down into your arms as well? All right, one more breath. All right, then release your arms. And we'll change position again to come to hands and knees. As you come to hands and knees, take your hands about shoulder distance, your knees about hip distance. We'll do a move that's called cat and cow. So as you inhale, let your belly drop toward the floor. Lift your head and your tailbone. So you're really letting your belly drop toward the floor. Then as you exhale, tuck your tailbone under, round your back, take your chin toward your chest. Again, inhale, belly drops, head and tail lift. Exhale, tuck and round the spine. Do a few more like that, just going at your own speed so that your movement and your breath work together. All right, one more breath. All right, bring your spine back to neutral. Sit your hips back toward your feet. Bring your head toward the floor. Now, for some of us, we need a little bit of adjustment in this posture to be a little bit more comfortable. So you might decide to take your knees a little bit wider. You might just come down to your elbows. You might rest your head down on the floor or a block if you have one. There's many other options, but hopefully those are helpful. If any of the postures that we do today, if you have further questions, just put those in the comments at the bottom of the video and I'll respond to those as soon as we're done with the practice. So we'll take 3 more breaths here in this child's pose. All right, so at the end of your 3rd breath, go ahead and pull yourself back up onto hands and knees. We'll take our knees nice and close together and then just reach the left leg back in space. All right, so take a moment to feel the engagement of the muscles on the back of your left leg as you reach back with your left leg. Imagine that there's a surface on top of your left leg that you're just pushing up against. As you reach back with that left leg, now we'll add a little bit of a balancing element to this by taking the right arm forward. If that's a little bit too challenging for today, just take either your hand down or your leg down. If keeping both the arm and the leg up is plenty easy for you, maybe you experiment with the position of your arm. Maybe take it out to the side. Maybe take that right hand to your low back. Maybe back out to the side. And forward. And now we'll all take the right hand down to the floor, cross the left leg over the right leg and just drop the toes down. And then curve your spine to the right so you're peeking back at your left foot. Sensing all the way up the left side of the body from the heel to the hip to the shoulder. All right, as I bring my torso back to neutral, I'll pick this left leg up and slide it out to the side. So it's directly out from my hip. All right, now as I walk my hands in and lift the torso up, I'll take my palms together, interlace the fingers, press the palms forward and up. All right, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, side bend over your left leg. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, come up, grow nice and tall. Exhale to the left. 1 more inhale, come up. And exhale to the left. All right, now as you lift up, release your hands. And then with this same left foot, take a big step forward into a lunge. So you might have to take a couple of steps. Or if this hurts your low back at all, just narrow your lunge. Sometimes when we're in a big stretchy lunge, it can bother the low back a little bit. So shorten the distance between your front leg and your back knee if you're having any low back pain in your lunge. Or just don't do it entirely. It's always up to you what things you do and what things you don't do. All right. So from this lunge, we'll take the right hand down to the floor and just start to slowly twist toward your front leg. Maybe the left hand is resting on this front leg. Maybe the left hand is reaching up toward the ceiling. We'll take 3 breaths. All right, after your third breath, release your left hand to the floor. Take your left leg back. And then once again, we'll sit back into child's pose. Remember, as we did before, you can take your knees wider if you need to. You can rest your head on a block. You might just come down to elbows. But make the posture comfortable for your body. Take 3 breaths. All right, so after your third breath, pull yourself back up onto hands and knees. We'll take our knees nice and close together. This time it's the right leg reaching back. And remember, as you're reaching back through that right leg, you're also somewhat pushing up against an invisible surface. So you really feel the back side of your right leg engaged. And then as you continue to reach back through the right leg, now we'll take the left arm forward. If it's a little bit too challenging, feel free to take that left hand right back down or take the right foot down. If you've got both arm and leg up, then experiment with the position of your left arm. Perhaps take it out to the side. Left hand to low back. Back out to the side. And forward. And now we'll all take the left hand down to the floor. Cross the right leg over the left leg, drop the toes, and then curve the spine to the left. So you're peeking back at your right foot. And sensing all the way up the right side of the body, from the foot to the hip to the shoulder. All right, and then as you now bring your torso back to neutral, take that right foot out to the right side. So just directly out from your hip. And then walk your hands in, lifting up. Take the palms together, interlace the fingers, press the palms forward and up. All right, take a deep breath in. Exhale as you side bend to your right side. So over that extended right leg. And twice more, inhale, come up. Exhale to the right. And one more, breathing in. And breathing out. All right, as you come up this time, release your arms and then step this right foot forward into a lunge. Might be a short lunge, might be a longer lunge, but then take your left hand down to the floor. Start to twist toward your front leg, so your right hand might rest on your thigh. You might reach your arm up into the air. All right, 3 breaths. All right, after your third breath, right hand comes to the floor, right leg goes back. Now, instead of child's pose, this time go ahead and come down onto your back. And as you come down onto your back, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Bring your legs in toward your chest. Reach through for your left leg. And then just rock a little side to side. Take 2 more breaths. And then release your feet. Switch sides. This time left ankle, right thigh. Legs come in. Rock a bit side to side. All right, 2 more breaths. All right, as you release your feet to the floor this time, step them as wide as the mat and then drop the knees in toward each other. Let your hands rest on your belly and just take a moment to see if you can feel that subtle rise and fall of your belly as you breathe. So even though the air that you're breathing is not going into your belly, the expansion of your lungs is pressing down to create a sense of expansion in your belly. See if you can feel that gentle rise and fall. And as you're feeling this gentle rise and fall in your belly, start to relax any part of your body that doesn't have to work here. So sometimes we might be holding tension in the jaw. Get real soft around the mouth, the cheeks, forehead, even your eyes. Can they be heavy in their sockets? Now you can stay in this restful position, just simply observing your breath for another 5 or 10 minutes if you have the time. But whenever you feel like you need to move on to the rest of whatever you have going on in your day, take a slightly deeper breath. And feel the energy of that inhalation and exhale out your mouth. And then slowly turn to one side. As we did before, press up into a seated position. As we guide our palms together in front of the heart, we bow in acknowledgement of the light within each other. Thank you. So I'm going to do these classes in a pop-up style once a week. It won't always be on Wednesdays. Today's was. So feel free to leave a message in the comments if you have a particular day or time that you would like for me to do these classes. My intention is to do one a week through the end of the year. Maybe I'll continue in the new year if I get into the habit of doing it every single week. So leave any questions or time requests in the comments. See you next time. Bye.